Prepare to have your mind blown out of the back of your pants. From Studio City, California, you're listening to The Second Column with Joe, Mike, Carlos, and Sean.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Second Column. I'm joined by the entire team today. To my right is Mr. Mike Constantini.
What are you doing?
Good, Mike. Take a little drink there.
Don't mind if I do.
Mike's voice at the top of the show always starts off with a little crack or some kind of tweak.
Come to me next time.
I'm going to start with Carlos.
Yeah.
Let's start. Yeah. Welcome to The Second Column. Joining me this week, I have Carlos Jaime.
Hello.
Solid. Rock solid.
I should have done hello.
That's nice, too.
It is.
And to his left is Mr. Sean Kearney.
Hello. How are you doing?
And batting third, Mr. Mike Constantini.
Hi.
There we go.
There we go.
From now on, Mike goes third.
Natural.
It's done.
I'm starting to see a pattern though. Every time I make my announcement like hello, or hi, Sean always mimics me in some way.
From now on, Carlos first,
Yes.
Mike second, and then Sean, you'll have the chance to pick who you want to mock.
Okay,
right?
good.
No. I want then Sean should go first next time.
No.
We should do it in trans-
No, I like Joe's way. I like those odds.
No,
Sean's the
I
cleanup
don't like
hitter.
it.
No, Sean comes in and cleans it up.
Then you'll be listening to dead air.
No, I don't think so. It's gold when Sean hits something. I mean, he grabs it and doesn't let go.
This is,
Yes.
Yeah,
Go,
all right.
Go plated.
Well, hey guys, we are. I don't want to use the word juggernaut, but we're a juggernaut. We got two pieces of mail this week. Two pieces of mail.
Wow.
We're doing really well.
Exactly.
Are any of them from Mexico?
No, none of them are from Mexico, but one of them's from Japan.
Uh-oh.
Japan. We're big in Japan. We're hitting Japan pretty hard.
Wow.
We are big in Japan with we are big in Japan in Tokyo in one IT office where Mr. David Pavlina works. So
Who?
Dave Pavlina, your best friend.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
that guy?
Yeah.
You've been friends with him since you were like 11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, your good buddy Dave. We love Dave. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah. He started off. He had kind of an Asian girl fetish. Asian woman.
So
He liked him.
Yeah.
So he moved to Japan. Right.
Which is what any logical guy with an Asian fetish would do.
I don't know if that was the case, but I think he liked Japan enough to where he could move in. I don't know if it was about the girls.
Is
I
he
mean, might have
married?
been maybe the girls.
What's
but,
that?
Did he marry one of
No.
them?
He's
no.
about to
He-
probably soon. I mean, he has his girlfriend Kyle.
Oh, he just ruined it.
Wow. I hope Kyle isn't listening. You may have just ruined the surprise.
Well, I don't know.
Whoops.
Like when they're gonna, announce the date.
Well, he may not have asked Kyle's parents yet, and there's like an honored tradition
Yeah.
where he'll have to ask the father, and now the father may get all ninja on him. Or
I
something.
think her dad
true.
found out about Dave and didn't like it.
But what about the impending nuptials you were just speaking of?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's
Alright.
the inevitable. I'm not saying he's gonna pop the question tomorrow, but they'll inevitably probably get married.
Very interesting.
You're like that reporter at the end of who was it? Was the big football game last year when the quarterback was going to propose to the
the Boise State game.
Boise
Yeah.
State, yeah.
Yep.
And the reporter just ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, ruined the moment.
You're like that guy.
douche.
Mike.
Will you? And the guy jumped in and was like,
He's like, what were you thinking?
how do you feel about the big win?
No, it's actually a warning. He was trying to warn the guy before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it was the guy, and the girl was cute.
Yeah,
She's
she
a
was.
cheerleader.
I know.
It was
And he wasn't a QB. He was like
Was
a
it the running back?
back
Or, yeah, I think it
I
might
don't
have
think
been
he was a running back. Like,
Yeah.
the guy wasn't really in shape.
No, he
or
wasn't the
anything.
quarterback. Yeah,
My
he wasn't in shape.
Well, I mean,
It was
My,
it was a trick play, I guess.
One of my ex-girlfriends was a cheerleader in high school.
Very nice.
Ooh.
wow.
Very nice. I think slightly more of Mike than I did a minute ago.
Which brings us to our next section of the show, bragging corner. Where we
Oh.
all
Yes,
something.
yes.
I graduated college with honors.
Whoa.
Carlos,
Actually,
you?
so did I from the same school.
Wow.
Wow.
But I did it before Sean.
And you guys,
I spent 5 years in college and was on the dean's list all 10 semesters.
I spent 5 years in college, and I was on the dean's list.
All right.
All
Wow.
I threw a party my senior year that's still going on.
Wow.
The party has not ended. I mean, it's been going on for, what is it, 10 years now? Yeah, something like
Wow.
that.
Carlos has been very quiet.
I just saw Porky's. Porky's too.
Oh,
Right corner is
Next
over.
day.
We have our winner.
Show off.
Without masturbating, nothing.
Well, that would certainly be some kind of record for you.
It is. It is.
You know, the guy who wrote Porky's wrote A Christmas Story.
Christmas.
Yes,
Story.
same guy.
Bob Clark.
I think
Guy.
did he pass away?
He
Yeah.
died
recently?
in a really terrible car accident.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas Story is maybe one. I mean, I won't say one of the best Christmas movies. It's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
great movie.
I'll
yeah.
put that movie up there anytime.
So is Porky's.
Yeah,
In a way.
Yeah.
It was a lost American ideal. That was Porky's.
Well, yeah, that's when they made movies where you just had boobies for no reason.
Yeah.
That was
Good
like
times.
literally they don't do that anymore.
No.
They tried it.
Now you gotta have plot and
Yeah,
with the symbolism.
yeah,
Boring.
yeah. Guys can't just act like guys in a movie anymore.
Nah.
Yep.
Movies are just,
So
they've
what-
become the new books.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it.
Porky's taught us that you have to have like in any group of guys a big fat guy,
Yeah.
a little skinny guy, a Mac. You know.
Well, that's what I see
set
right
the
in front of
dynamic.
me. That's what I see in front of me
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
who? All right, who is it? Who's which one?
Well, I don't know. I would say Mac would be Mike.
Mike's the Mac.
Yeah, that's initials.
It's also his initials.
Skinny guy would be Sean.
Sean's a skinny guy.
And the other guy.
That only leaves
All
one
right,
other
what are we
person,
now?
Joe.
What are you and I then?
Well, I'm the viewer, and you're the other guy.
Well, what's the other guy?
I don't know.
Are you saying I'm the chubby guy?
Maybe.
Oh, come on. I've
Well-
been working out. You're always asking to feel my muscles.
Well, yeah, you
For you listeners out there, if you ever watch, if you know Michael Chiklis in The Shield,
Oh.
Yes.
The Shield, which is a great show.
You mean the thing?
Joe looks a lot like
do.
Big Mackey in The Shield. You know,
I do
he's
Oh,
look
like-
like
definitely.
he's
And if
built.
there's any Yankee fans out in the audience,
Oh.
you might recognize a Mr. Joe Torre when you see Mike.
That's
Gossett.
Mike.
that's
Mike
what
looks
I've
like
been
Joe
told.
Torre.
Nice.
Yep.
I kept imitating like his sourpuss, look.
Imitating?
Yeah, like
That's your face.
That's your natural face, Mike.
Thanks a lot. That's a lot of
You're making it right now. Carlos.
sons of bitches.
We've always said Carlos, kind of like some Adam Carolla.
Yeah, definitely some Adam Carolla.
Well, it's in the
Yeah.
voice. If you shut
The
your
voice,
eyes,
too.
you'll
Yeah.
think that you're
I don't
talking
think so.
to Adam Carolla.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think so.
So everyone out there listening to the podcast, shut your eyes.
I always thought it was Norm Macdonald, though. I think Norm Macdonald
Well,
is the
the
one that
voice
really,
and the mannerisms, yeah, but he looks more like either
No.
Adam Carolla or Bert from Bert and Ernie.
Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bert.
look at the eyebrows.
Wait, Bert.
Yeah,
Bert had a unibrow. Carlos
Yeah.
doesn't have a unibrow.
it's pretty close.
Well,
Yeah.
then you're Ernie then.
Pretty close. I'll be your Ernie.
All right.
I would be your Ernie in a second.
Can I move into your room?
Yes, you can move.
I'd
We'll look
say
at the
Mike's
pigeons.
a closer Ernie.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I'd
Mike
say.
is some,
Well, I would say-
or Beaker from.
Well, Beaker when he gets that
Ooh,
haircut,
yeah.
or
When I
that,
get that haircut, yeah.
or he has that eagle. Wasn't there like an eagle?
oh,
up
the
there?
eagle, the newscaster
Yeah, 'cause
eagle.
when you-
Yes,
Mike's
Mike
brows-
looks like the eagle news. Look
Mike's-
at he just turned his head with your pronounced beak. Yes, Carlos, good
Wow.
call.
Thank
I think
you.
I have all these sinus problems. I think my nose just keeps getting bigger.
I think it does.
I don't know. Like it's
awesome.
weird. I never had
Awesome.
this large of a nose, and
Maybe your face is
it's
getting
becoming a
smaller.
problem. Like,
could be
yeah,
it.
Your
might have
face
to
could
get
be
plastic
shrinking.
surgery at some point.
Who does Sean look like?
It's dangerous.
Sean looks like every
Expensive, too.
white person, every
Like every
Yeah.
young white actor.
yeah.
Like if there it's
No, Sean looks like
He
that.
looks like a
you know
hiker.
who he looks like is the actor that's on Scrubs, the that one doctor guy.
the black guy.
No, not that black guy. The
the 50-year-old janitor.
no,
Oh.
it's the guy
The
that
girl?
The blonde girl.
You know who
Yeah,
I'm talking
blonde
about.
Girl.
I'm sure
blonde
people
girl.
have told you look like him before.
No, never. Zach.
I don't
Braff?
know his. No,
Zach-
not Zach
Zach
Braff.
Braff.
No, you're not
There's
Jewish.
another doctor on
You're
that
not
show?
Jewish.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's another doctor.
What, the blonde girl's boyfriend?
No, I don't know the show well enough.
Wait, are you
but
sure you're watching the right show?
Next
I think
podcast,
this
I'll
is
tell you guys
Scrubs.
who it was because I can't
Say
remember.
that.
his
that'll
name.
give-
Say that's what.
He's in a
everybody something to
commercial.
look
He's in
forward
a
to.
commercial right now, actually.
Okay.
That
So
narrows
what?
it down.
Wait. We go back to Dave. What the hell did he have to say?
Okay, so let's get back to Dave's letter.
All right, nice.
Good side trip. Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. You guys, here's what he wrote in. You guys were on the topic of friends disagreeing with girlfriends and the dangers of siding against the girlfriend, which that was last week's podcast.
Yeah.
This actually happened to me big time, and Carlos was the friend. He says Los loves this story. He and I and my now ex-girlfriend Linda were at a party at our friend Jill's house. The topic of other cool parties came up.
Wow.
The exchange went something like this, and I'm going to read this. Carlos, remember that cool party that Amy's ex, or Amy, which is Mike's ex, friends threw? And then Dave, yeah, that was an awesome party. We got so blasted. I can't do Dave. He's just always very excited in my head.
Yeah, this is very jovial.
Yeah, exactly. Linda, oh
jolly.
yeah, that was the one. Okay, this is Linda. Oh yeah, that was the one I wasn't at. You shouldn't have gone to that party. It was all models and actresses from what I heard. Blah, blah, blah. David is evil. I have to know everything and I'm always right. Carlos, hey, give him a break. It's a fucking party. Why do you always give him shit for everything? Dave, agreeing with Carlos. Yeah, it's just a party. Relax. Linda.
Mistake number one.
Linda, I can't believe you just took his side. Okay, then Dave writes, note, I just took Carlos's side, so I officially fucked myself. A pretty heated argument starts between Linda and Carlos.
Yes.
It ends with Linda storming out of the party, throwing her drink into the bushes, and crying on the curb in the front of the house. Carlos, to finish it, says, fuck this shit, man.
That one's for you, Smooth.
Yeah, oh, man, that was one of the greatest nights because I went to a party and not only did this happen, but I was really drunk. So then it was really funny because after that little fight, Dave pulled me aside and said, "Okay, don't argue with her anymore." So I said, "All right."
You think?
I said, "Okay, fine."
You set off a volcano.
Yeah.
It's a ticking
you
time bomb.
But it was ridiculous. She didn't even want to come to that party. So
Yep.
So what happened was that I just went and I was gonna apologize, but actually she thought I was really mad at her, but I was still drunk, so I didn't really care. And so the three of us just drove home.
That'd be the worst car ride home ever.
It was
here, everybody. You want to hear
from
my
like what?
representation of the car ride home?
oh no.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's very.
All the way back
Inside the
from
car.
San Diego.
No, actually, it got really like
Shut off.
general talk. Like it got general talk. Like, oh, the weather has been really
Oh,
nice,
no.
kind of like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Just,
storm clouds out.
Right.
Yeah.
So then finally, we get back to here, I guess, and Mike and Dave and this girl go and they go into their room or Dave's room actually and never come out. Really, I never saw it. So I just go into the kitchen and I just start drinking again. And then Mike and whoever comes back and they're like, "What are you doing here early?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you a story."
Yep, that's where
And
you're.
then I got drunk again.
Nice, very good. I like any story that ends with Carlos getting drunk for the second time.
Great night.
So then Dave finishes up. He says, "Note the perfect Carlos-esque ending," which I will repeat. Fuck this shit.
It
man.
really was.
That would be if you were Larry the Cable Guy or whatever. That would be your
I was just
catchphrase.
I was just really fed up. Like it was one of those
Yeah.
things where I just heard enough. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Damn bitch.
Exactly. Well, very nice. Okay, that was letter number 1. Let's get to letter number 2.
Okay.
This is from Smooth.
This is
now.
from Smooth. So we read from last week, and you know what? As long as the guy keeps bringing his A game with the letters, I'm going to keep reading them.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to read the whole letter, Smooth, and I'm sorry I left out the. He made an electric Kool-Aid acid test last week that I didn't mention. So he's very literary. He's a good guy. But here, let me get to the point of this letter that he wrote. Podcast number 5 reminded me of an NBA game. A lot of lollygagging in the first 58 minutes, and then you guys brought out your A game for the last 2.
Fair enough.
I have to agree with that. I felt like last week we kind of, didn't get it going until maybe a little bit later on.
Yeah, I'd
So,
agree. I felt the same way.
I guess.
So, so anyway, Smooth goes on to write, "I'm sorry if my first letter insinuated that only Mike smokes pot. I think you're all high." So fair.
That's cool. I think we're all high on life.
I guess.
Yeah. I take back what I said in my letter about Sean and reiterate my thoughts on replacing Carlos with Danny.
Excellent.
Maybe you can.
No.
Well, listen, he has a proposal. Maybe you can make the 4th spot on the podcast like how they do soccer leagues in Europe. Over there, the lowest team in the Premier League is demoted in favor of a strong team in the lower division. If someone has a weak podcast that week, you should sit them for a week, bring on someone who said something hilarious that week, told a great joke, bought you a 12-pack of Schlitz, whatever. You also might want to think about bringing in a female and just nodding your heads the whole time and agreeing with what she says.
Schlitz, he brought up Schlitz. That's that beer, right, that we had at the
You know what?
the Improv Olympic.
Smooth, I know you're listening.
West.
Last week I was at a bar. It was a comedy club, and at the bar they had $2 16-ounce Schlitz.
Yeah.
Which there was a bar in college we used to go to. They had $1 Schlitz night. You can get a 12-ounce can for like $1.
But that's like dive. That's
we
like
were,
dive beer.
We were with our friend Megan, and she asked, "What's a Schlitz?" And the bartender was like, "Well, it's the shittiest beer we have."
And
so
I
call it
disagree
Schlitz."
completely with
Yeah.
that. like any beer that ends in it's is always good. It's in the family of Pabst and
Pabst, yeah,
Blatz,
try it
you
with
know.
those.
The party's over when you
Yeah.
see that.
It's the kind of beers that your like grandfather would drink.
Definitely.
Back, way back when your blue collar
It's exactly what it is.
grandfather.
That you would literally have like a bucket, like a 10-gallon bucket of beer and ice, and that would be what is in that bucket.
Speaking of, like blue collar beers, like every time I'd go over and hang out with Dave at his parents' house, like when he was living at home, his dad, like always, he has his dad. Dave is, the only. Dave has one older brother who's kind of like non-existent, and then he's got two sisters.
What, he's not made of matter, or
It's just he's not around, know. But anyway,
That's a phantom.
but his dad loved it when we
power.
came over because it was all women in the house. So like when we would go over, Dave's dad would give us Blatz.
yeah,
And we would sit and have Blatz together, and he
Yep.
loved it. Like he enjoyed that time with us.
yeah.
And I actually got
never-
to like the beer. It was
not bad.
good working man's beer.
It's not bad beer.
He never did that with me. I don't know.
Well,
It's
you're kind of. I
weird.
mean, it's kind of weird being around you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anybody would say that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
If I
Yeah.
had two daughters, I wouldn't want to be drinking beer with you in the same
Oh,
house as
Yeah.
please. It was safe as
No.
a baby, I think.
them. I don't know.
I don't know.
If you mean as safe as a baby, as in all the women see your little
Oh, no.
hairless half inch.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know.
at least well, you're still in puberty, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
You are. Carlos is twice as old as you
Oh,
are.
You
Sean.
know,
Yeah.
that's not a
It's not a
that's
bad
a
thing.
compliment.
It
It's a
is.
compliment.
It is.
You're still in puberty. That means you're young. You're
That's
not
right.
close to death.
That's right.
No.
Yeah, we recently had some
We can still
birthdays. Wait,
die.
hold on. We recently had some birthdays. Sean turned
It turned 17.
17.
Good job.
Sixth.
Youngest.
No,
Yep.
we have a crazy anomaly on the show. Mike's birthday is October 1st. He turned 38.
Excuse
Is
me,
October
no,
7th.
I turned 30. You turned
Wait,
31.
you
7
turned
days.
you turned 30?
Yes, I turned 30.
Holy shit.
No, you did.
Wait, you got that time machine?
Oh, wait a minute.
working,
No, I'm
Mike?
31. Jesus, I forget that all the time.
No.
Wow.
You
know why?
lied.
You know why? It's because he's really 38. You know what I mean? He's
Yep.
old. He's old.
My God, I still thought of myself as 30 there, right there. That was
Yeah.
so
Wow.
weird.
Yep. So
I
Mike,
can see how you can lose track of age.
yeah, Mike on October 1st. I'm on October 7th. I turned 32. And Sean on October 6th. October 6th turned 23.
23.
Yeah. So
That's a
there you
good
go.
age. That's a good age.
And we'll celebrate
It's not
Carlos's
too
April 19th.
Yeah.
Am I close?
April 21st.
April 21st.
The day after Hitler was
The day
born.
after Hitler and I'll bring the
Columbine.
show down. Columbine. Yeah, it was the two horrible things that happened on that day.
They
What,
don't.
what did you just call
Wait,
Columbine?
Columbine?
A British showdown?
Columbine.
That happened on the.
I
on the
heard
21st?
British showdown.
No, Carlos said something like that.
No, I just said it was normal.
Oh no, I think our words got jumbled up.
Oh,
so
that's
yeah, I
excellent.
missed that.
British.
So anyway, so I'm gonna read the column this week. We are trying something new. We're gonna read as much as we can and get towards the end of the show. If we finish it, great. If we don't, we don't. But we're not gonna try to shoehorn it in. Like forcing anything. We're just gonna let it go.
So you can,
Joe-
if you wanted to know what happened in the column, though, couldn't you go somewhere and
You
read
could
it?
go to the interwebs and read
Uh-huh.
my column.
I was just about
What
to say it.
website would I go to?
You know what? It's. I'm not going to mention it because I listened to the first few podcasts and I repeated it so much that it became a turnoff. So at the end of the show, the girl says the name of the website, and you can just listen to the end of the show. I know.
But I want to look it up while I'm listening to the
Ah,
podcast.
you have to wait, my friend.
Sean, if he doesn't want someone to say joedonatelli.com,
Oh,
we don't have to
Lord
do it.
God.
All right?
I
It's
guess.
You guys are gonna
It's his
crash.
column.
It's
You guys are gonna crash Google. Okay. So let's.
We don't
calm-
need to go to Google. If you just go to joedonatelli.com, you don't need to Google it.
That's
and
true.
That's Donatelli, Donatelli.
A-T-E-L-L-I.
Yes.
.com.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right.
As you drive readers away from my website.
Wow.
Oh man. So what's that?
I love it.
Thanks, man.
No, actually, not your site, but I just like the jokes.
Well, okay. Well, I appreciate that too.
No, well, your site's okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate that. I never know if the compliment is real from you.
I don't know.
You don't know either?
No.
All right. Well, fair
I
enough.
see inner Carlos.
Fair enough.
I'm a complicated man.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are gonna love the topic this week, and I think you're gonna love the topic this week. I wrote about robots.
Nice.
Yeah. This is a nerded up. We are gonna nerd it up tonight.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
right at home.
Yep. Here we go. Nice.
This
Is there
is
a
how-
robot in the room?
This is how I make my this is how I make my girlfriend go to sleep.
Yes. Mike talks about robots.
Oh, wow.
Every night she asks him to say something that he saw on Science Channel last night, and that's how she gets to sleep every night. So here we go.
Scary.
Tentative title, may change it. Right now it's called Robots Cannot Love.
Whoa.
I know.
You better
deep.
explain yourself,
I already
Donatelli.
feel like there's some stuff going on there. Okay, a few weeks ago, I read an Associated Press story on how people are forming emotional attachments with their robots. The robot mentioned in the story was the Roomba, which is a vacuum cleaner developed by iRobot Corporation.
The one that moves around on its own and vacuums.
Of its own accord.
Yeah.
It cleans on its own. So it's a little like
Excellent.
disc-shaped thing, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
it
think
can
it's
sense.
brilliant.
It can sense obstacles in front of
Yes.
it. And turn around.
It looks like a Simon board. Remember those Simon?
Yeah.
It's like
oh
round
yeah,
like that?
that's great.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, so here you go. Here's the lead from that story. They give them nicknames, worry when they signal for help, and sometimes even treat them like a trusted pet. A new study shows how deeply some Roomba owners become attached to their robotic vacuums and suggests there's a measure of public readiness to accept robots in the house, even flawed ones. So people are accepting and loving these robots in their homes, which is an amazing thing because,
Yeah, it's been going on a long time. I mean, even with the virtual pets and stuff like that. I mean, they're not robots, but
Right.
still, it's like an inanimate
Right, but this thing is like always on. You know what I mean?
AI,
Yeah. So
essentially.
this is taking it to a new level, though. The story deals with human behavior, technology, and love, a perfect topic for one of my columns. So I contacted iRobot and asked to speak with one of its spokespeople.
You did?
I did. I spent
What do you want to know, Joe? I can answer any question.
great.
Fuck you.
iRobot. How are you today?
Mind your fucking business.
I just want to know how you are, iRobot.
Fuck you.
Sorry, that was my Carlos bot. He's an asshole. He has a chip in his brain that makes him a dick, like his creator.
I have a new young pubescent robot named Sean. Barely has any hair.
Wait, robots shouldn't have hair.
Oh, why put them on
You put hair on your robots?
to make them look real?
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You have a nice. Your robots seem nice. I like those robots. Anyway, I spent almost 2 weeks trying to make this happen. I even emailed my questions and asked a representative from the company to write me back. All of my requests were rejected. So it was
Rejected or
denied.
not returned?
No, they were rejected. I was in contact with a PR person who I think worked not for the company but was contracted out. So they had a PR rep who handled me. The media relations representative for iRobot wrote to me, "Hi Joe, I received your questions, and although that would make a fun article, the iRobot team has declined to participate. I'll be sure to keep you abreast of new product announcements and let you know if things change in the near future."
That was with some team.
Yeah, I know the iRobot team. We are a team. I am the leader.
Wait, it's probably like one guy in charge,
I know.
or something.
That's how these startups are. So, the first word that popped into my head when I read that was cowards. So many corporations are so spineless. I often wonder why people fear big business, but that's a whole other column. I don't like the chicken shitness of so many companies. Like they can't even make a guy available for 10 minutes so I can ask him some questions.
It could be because they're developing like something secret.
It could very well could be.
You guys, you know what that reminds me of? It's like the whole concept of Area 51, right? You know, for all you
Yeah, but that's kind of BS.
geeks out there. Yeah, but now this is the beautiful thing about it,
Wait,
right?
hold on a second. Angelina, if you're ready to go to sleep
Yeah,
right
Angelina.
now, turn up your...
Angelina, put your head on the pillow.
I'm sure she listens to podcasts every time she... Yeah, I mean, think about it. Okay, like, if the government, let's say aliens exist, right? And they got them.
Really?
What are you going to do? Like, you're going to, like, say, like, oh, yeah, there's this spot called Area 51. That's where all the, the aliens are. The aliens aren't Area 51. That's like a decoy. If the aliens exist, there's some other place, like, far away, but you use a decoy.
Well, you would put them in a zoo or something, right?
So that has to do with the spokesperson not returning my call.
So the point you're trying to prove is that
saying,
the iRobot people
I think
have aliens,
No.
but not in their robots?
Those guys are developing like a new artificial intelligence that we are like not even ready for. And that's why they didn't want to talk to Joe.
Stop pointing. It'd be really cool if
You're pointing right now.
No, but
You're
I'm not
pointing at me.
I'm not pointing at anybody. I'm pointing at the table. If they've made
Joe just lowered his hand.
it'd be really cool if they were making robots that look like us.
Like
Wow.
us four? Or like
No,
us as in human beings?
as just human beings, and then like trying to see if that's like the new wave.
I do have to tell you guys something. I have this like fantasy. I saw this movie. I saw this movie with a really hot chick, and she was playing a robot.
Okay, can we
All right,
go move on to the rest of the
here's the
column?
real question. Does anybody else think Mike is overstimulated right now? Like, this topic is
Yeah.
too big for his... I do. We got 2 hands in
Yeah,
the
we
air.
got-
Three
All
hands in
right,
the air.
we-
I should
Mike,
regret saying
Mike,
this.
you are
Like-
completely overstimulated
No,
right
like,
now.
wouldn't that be cool to have like this hot robot
Yes.
chick that you could just you screw all
well,
the time?
you could get a real doll and just do
but
it
no.
yourself.
But it's more real. Like, but yet she's not like a sex slave or anything. Because she's a robot.
Well, I have no
and you're
doubt...
not really cheating on her with your girlfriend because it's a robot.
I have no doubt that that's where the technology is going. So there is no doubt. But I still say Mike's overstimulated.
Yes,
I think
agree.
the word robot set him on a path that we may not be able to get back.
Well, I think any word sends Mike on a path towards sex slave. It's
So
just
towards
robot was
duck
fitting
slave,
tonight.
sex
Yeah,
slave.
Exactly.
Think about the possibilities.
Oh no, we
These
all
robots.
have. We all have. We all know.
We just don't want to voice them out
right,
loud.
exactly. I like to keep some of my sex slave
And-
thoughts private.
Robot sex.
at his point.
Robot sex.
Mike is
okay?
pointing at Carlos for some
One
reason.
thing, robot sex. You don't have to worry about any of those goddamn STDs.
Well, how about but you still have to deal with bacteria. I mean, I
So
would imagine.
So I wrote back.
Did you
no.
write a column?
Yes, I did. So I wrote back. I am sorry to hear that no one from iRobot will speak with me. This would have been a fun piece, and I think it would have showed iRobot is hip and has a sense of humor. Clearly, this is not the case.
No.
It appears to me that iRobot refuses to laugh. It refuses to enjoy existence, almost like a real robot. I can only conclude that the company is now run by a robot, and that your spokesrobots are afraid I will expose them for what they are. Humanoid beings with internal battery organs, blinking light eyes, and monotone voices who lack the ability to enjoy life and want to punish humans for our irrational emotion feelings by taking control of the world. Do not keep me abreast of new product announcements. Your incremental steps towards world domination should not flood my inbox. May God have mercy on your souls.
Mike just got hard.
I think he did too.
Wow.
I
Nah,
think
it
he
sounds
did
like
too.
Area 51. It sounds like the government. Like
No, that's the
theories
letter.
that come in.
That's the email I sent
That's
them.
what you
That's
wrote.
what I wrote to them.
I like that though. I
think it's great.
I feel like sometimes I've been upset at somebody and I've wanted to write an email to them.
Mm-hmm.
I recently got into a situation with somebody where I wanted to write an email to them
Oh, wow.
to apologize
Yeah,
for a situation between us. But every time I sat down to write that email, the only words I could write was "go fuck yourself,"
Yeah.
"go fuck yourself,"
Yep.
"go fuck yourself," and I had to delete that email and think I need a little more time to cool down.
Yeah.
But you, Joe. You didn't cool down. You wrote that email. You wrote "go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
And you sent it off.
And I
did.
guarantee
Robot
you
people.
that is a one of a kind email that they will probably never ever receive again, and they'll probably put it up on their wall.
Yeah. No, the girl wrote me back and she actually said, "I hear you. I'm on your side. Your letter made me laugh." So, but she couldn't
Wow.
convince anybody to do it.
I'm
So
still a douchebag.
exactly. So I ended my email to them with the words, "Go humans."
That's
Which
true.
I think that I might make a bumper sticker out of that or a T-shirt or something. Go humans.
You should copyright that or get the website right now so when the aliens
I know.
invade.
It's a great idea. They'll know where to go.
Got it.
I think
So, okay, so for fun, it's like, okay, now where do I go with this? All right. Below, I have listed the questions that iRobot refused to answer. I indicate an asterisk that shows which questions were written by my brother Dan, who I say is a hilarious human writer.
Who?
Dan Donatelli. We've had him on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
wait,
was-
no,
I
you weren't
wasn't
here.
here, yeah.
That's right. That was the. Remember
that
that
was a
really good
great
show?
show.
Remember that good show?
Wow.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
That was
We keep
fun.
calling that the one.
Yeah.
Like that was the one.
It's horrible.
We got it in one shot. We didn't even know if we should do another podcast
What?
after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good
What
one.
was special? There was something unique about that. show. I
Danny
can't
coined.
put my finger
Danny
on it.
coined the phrase "the full
Stop
dangle."
pointing fingers.
Remember the
He
full
did. He did
dangle?
the full dangle.
Which I jumped out of my seat. Like
Yeah.
with Mike with robots, I was with the full dangle.
I don't think it was anything.
Okay. What question was it?
Okay, here we go. So they start off kind of straight, and then they kind of get into fun zone. So bear with the straight ones at first. And again, feel free if you guys have answers to these, feel free to jump in like you're iRobot, or you yourself. Just jump in.
I will.
So okay, so I'll have to get through the first couple, and they're kind of boring. Why do you think people have formed such personal attachment to their Roombas? What are some of the ways that people have personalized their Roombas? Do you have a Roomba? What is its name? Okay, now we get to the ones where I think
Mike.
this is where they started to get nervous. If you had to characterize your Roomba's personality, would you say it's saucy?
Saucy.
I would say it follows orders too much to be saucy.
Maybe that's it. You're probably
You
right.
know?
See, that would have been a very
So-
rational. I would have liked that answer. Like that would have been a really good answer.
I don't see anything that's wrong about saying that.
Thank you. Isn't iRobot's Roomba just a low-tech ripoff of Rosie from the Jetsons? Have Hanna-Barbera's lawyers contacted you yet?
You could just say no or
Well,
yes to that.
well,
That's a yes or
I
no
think it's a good question. Yeah, have Hanna-Barbera's lawyers said
Yeah.
that's Rosie, but a very stripped-down version of Rosie.
Yeah, it's just like Rosie's.
Kinda.
Talk about women cartoons that are hot. That was another show.
What the hell are you
Rosie
doing?
Rosie was like a box with the maid's
No,
outfit.
no,
on it.
no,
She has
no,
toaster
no.
I mean,
What
there's
is
nothing
he-
attractive about
The
Rosie.
Jetson, Mrs. Jetson.
Judy?
Judy
Oh,
Jetson.
the daughter?
Yeah, no, they were
The
cute.
mom.
Or not Mrs. Yeah,
but they
Judy
had
Jetson.
but they had impossibly shaped bodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was hot.
You know what got me about Rosie?
What's
Is
that?
that Rosie was a robot who used a vacuum cleaner.
I know.
So she could have just been a Roomba. I'd say is more advanced.
Her
than
feet
Rosie.
should have been like the vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Roomba, if the Roomba was less advanced, it would have to hold a vacuum cleaner. I
Yes.
think the Roomba's more advanced than Rosie.
Someday you will have a Roomba that will push a vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
That's what
I
the
think
Jetsons have taught
technology is
us.
going to get so
Wow.
far that I'm going to have a robot who delivers my mail, but he rides a horse, just defeating the entire purpose.
and wow.
God, I don't know if I saw
I could
that.
see that.
I would probably.
I would think that
Laugh
was the
and then-
coolest thing I ever saw.
It would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't tell anyone I saw it,
But
but,
the- but
I would
I
laugh
would.
at it.
But the horse is on like jet shoes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so the horse isn't even moving its feet.
No.
It's just its feet stay this and it's hovering and it's just like
Because
shroom.
people want something familiar.
Yeah.
You know, people
Yeah.
they want to see something that they
hey.
can go, hey, that's the Pony Express.
Yep.
Sean, I
With
think
robots.
a robotic mailman would be great. Our mailman here sucks. You know, it's like he takes
Could be
no.
a listener.
There's no listener. Listen, our mailman takes no pride in his work. Like we get mail delivered to the wrong. You know, we get other people's mail all the time. I mean, it's like have some pride in your work sometimes. You know.
Yeah, I feel bad for the mailman here because you live on the top of a hill, so it's like the guy has to drive up just to drop off mail at your house. He probably resents that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We're not just at the top of the hill. Like there's more houses
No, but like
after us.
on my street, where I used to live in Santa Monica, you could hit like 100 houses in 10 minutes. Here, you could hit 10 houses in 10 minutes.
And you had apartment buildings, so you were
Right,
doing it to so
exactly,
many people.
exactly.
I got
don't know if
another
you guys-
that, and I got another beef with garbage men. You know, garbage men.
Robot garbage man?
Oh.
No,
Oh.
I
That
wouldn't
would
if it
be
was a
good.
robot. You know, there was a day when garbage men actually used to get out of the truck and pick up your garbage. Nowadays, like if your can is not positioned just right, your garbage can, they'll just skip it. One time, I was heading to work.
I was hoping there was a follow-up.
I was heading to
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
One
I'd
time I
love
was
an
heading to work.
example of
Yeah.
this.
I was heading to work.
So
There was
overstimulated.
a trash truck, and the guy couldn't get the electronic arm, which is a robot arm, to pick up the
Like how
the
big
trash
was the
can.
song?
Right? He saw the garbage man. I kid you not, saw a bum sitting on the side of the street. He motioned to the bum
No.
to move the garbage can.
I thought he picked up the bum with the arm.
Yeah, that'd be
would've been
awesome.
funny.
I'd do that and
Yeah,
just make
yeah.
it flail for a
So
little
this
bit.
bum
That'd be funny.
moved it so that he could do. And I was like, whatever happened to the good old American garbage man? You know, they got out, asked you how your day was going. You tip them a little bit.
All right.
You know,
All right, Mike grew up in a different
Lost
America.
ideals.
than the rest
It's
of
like
us did.
1950s.
All right. For fear of not being able to top that, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, the next question. Can the Roomba feel love?
No.
Really?
The robots don't have feelings, which is why
Yeah.
I don't think a robot mailman would solve Mike's problem.
Good
because
point.
a robot can't feel pride. So a robot wouldn't take pride in its job.
just takes
a robot
orders.
just takes orders,
Yeah.
which your mailman's doing, just taking orders. So a mindless, non-driven worker is as good as a robot.
Right.
Good
yeah,
point.
but there'd be no error.
Yeah,
We were
well,
dealing with
You
AI.
didn't want errorless. You didn't want lack of error. You wanted pride, and robots don't have
Right.
pride.
I still think the best thing I've heard so far is the robot riding the horse. That's still the best solution to anything I've heard so far.
It also just kind of strikes me as like the cover to like a Twisted Sister album or
Yes.
like an Iron Maiden
Yeah.
album.
Exactly.
I think Iron Maiden would
Yeah.
be the one.
Yeah.
It would be like
Or Foo Fighters.
I'm trying to think of what that would be like. The male stallion, the horse robot. There's got to be a name for that.
Robostang.
Wait, what's that? Yes, Robostang.
Robostang.
Hey, dude,
be
who
like who
would be excited to get their mail from Robostang? Kids would be
Be
out in
sweet.
front of their house every day waiting for a Robostang
I know.
to
Like,
ride by.
the ice cream truck would be coming by. They're like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
ice cream truck. We're going to Robostang."
We're going to Robostang.
I'd love the day that nobody got their mail though, and they said, "Well, why didn't we get our mail?" And it was like, the horse was sick.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can't do it without the horse.
His head fell off.
Exactly. Or the day that Robostang breaks his leg and they have to shoot him.
They have to shoot
and all the kids cry. Yeah. Exactly.
We're gonna have to deprogram the mailman too. They came as a package deal.
It finally developed emotions, and it was only towards equine. Then maybe that's robots can only have emotions towards equine animals. You know, like
it could be. We know so little, we can assume so much.
It's a good point.
We could always use the mailman too. Or the homeless people to do the mailman.
Yes,
too.
as long as they're not being put in the garbage by Mike's robot garbage
robotic
truck.
arm.
His robotic garbage truck that puts homeless guys in a garbage.
I just think of that Terminator robotic arm. Like, that's it.
Yeah, just grabbing the guy, and the guy. I can see the guy not even caring. Like the guy's just being put in the garbage can.
No, he didn't get put in the. He
No, but
moved
that's
the garbage
that's the
can.
fantasy. That's the fantasy. Is that it would be really funny if the robot garbage truck picked up the homeless guy. And
I think that we should do a whole show where we rewrite the ending to Mike's story.
I know, yeah. Let's always finish Mike's stories. Okay, here's a Dan question, and I love this question. Do you have any tips? Now imagine I'm going to ask this to like their vice president of marketing or whatever. Do you have any tips for how not to fall in love with a Roomba? Great question. I love that. It totally sucks up to their whole thing. I thought they'd be into that. Okay. Was the first Roomba constructed by a horribly disfigured scientist working alone in his abandoned castle? Fair question.
So. I think
Fair
that's
question.
true.
Fair question.
It was a chance for them to break a stereotype, and they chose not to.
I agree completely. How do you think robots 1,000 years from now will react when they discover they were descended from vacuum cleaners? That's a good question for you, Mike. What do you think? Because eventually they're going to become self-aware, and they're going to look up their history. And like we found out that we're descended from apes, they're going to find out they were descended from a Roomba. How's it going to make you feel?
I look at how humanity's looked at the fact that it's probably, we're basically smart monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's really changed anything.
No, I know, but all right. I'll hit the follow-up question. Do you think it's possible that robots 1,000 years from now will lie and say they were descended from the military's unmanned aerial vehicles just so they don't get their asses kicked by cyborgs?
They would lie.
In cyborg robot high school.
No, they would lie if they had pride. But as Sean pointed out, there's no pride.
So you think
so what's the point?
Pride, though.
Cyborgs do have pride.
Wait, since when? Like when would a cyborg have pride?
Human
they have
pieces
human
in
parts.
them.
A cyborg has human
Those human
parts.
pieces can feel pride.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
Okay, like RoboCop.
Exactly.
Right.
He had pride. He was like,
He didn't have a
fuck
sense-
this.
he
I
didn't-
got shot as a cop,
Yep.
and I'm coming back to kill
And
people.
the memories
Right.
kept coming
I'm
back.
proud of that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
he had-
that big robot gun thing that he was fighting,
So
that thing didn't have any pride.
No.
No, I know.
No.
I know. I think that's Mike brings up a good point. I think the robots wouldn't lie. They'd be very rational and they'd say, "Yes, I'm descended from a vacuum cleaner," and the cyborg would laugh.
And then the cyborg would be like, I was descended from a fucking awesome rocket horse.
Yeah, from a rocket horse and General Schwarzkopf.
Because they would know that horses are like the height of
the height of all animals is horse as far as a robot's concerned. It's
true.
It's the height of the pecking order.
It's not a pig or anything.
No,
Okay.
exactly. Here's another question. Again, I think of Mike when I ask this question. Given that history has a way of repeating itself, do you think it is possible that the first human beings were vacuum cleaners of some type? That maybe we climbed out of the primordial ooze to clean up the shore and simply overstayed our welcome? Maybe we're the vacuum cleaners.
It's true. Metaphorically speaking.
Really?
I can get down
Maybe.
on that.
Yeah, maybe we were vacuum cleaners. Because listen, there's like a natural order of the universe.
Exactly.
The first robot is a vacuum cleaner. Maybe the first person was a vacuum cleaner.
Well, maybe there's a reason why blowjobs are so popular.
Well, I was gonna say.
Well, think about it. Okay.
What?
Good point. Because now listen to this.
Oh, no.
Good point. Like, blowjobs. Woman.
Where did that come from?
Still going back to
mention-
Where the hell did that come
He
from?
just took robots to now explaining
No,
to us
listen,
what a
I-
blowjob
I
is.
went back to Science Channel shit.
just
I was
said-
throwing him in.
We have a propensity to suck in many ways. A baby, right, has a propensity to suck on a bottle and
I
suck
see.
on your mother's breast.
See, now that makes
And as
some sense.
As we grow old, we suck
think
on
he's just
women's
horny.
breasts. And
that's-
women, likewise, will suck on yours.
All right. That's
You remember?
enough.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we are descendants from vacuums.
But
All right.
I think a baby
It's
sucks.
go
I
ahead.
think a baby sucks on the mother's tip because
Stay
to
alive.
survive. Yeah, to stay
Yeah,
alive.
survive.
Yeah. If I was
but
sucking
only,
on
only a vacuum would do that.
now, if I was sucking on a woman's
No,
tit,
nobody wants to hear that.
I think they do.
No, nobody wants
Not
to hear
after
that.
we just described you as Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody wants that picture in their head. Now
hey.
Angelina will not be able to fall asleep.
Oh,
Sorry.
But I think that the vacuum cleaner thing might be true if you think of the way that like a spider, when you talk about insects, you're like, oh, they serve the great circle of life because they get rid of something.
Yes.
Sure.
And so I think that maybe we are vacuum cleaners because we get rid of something bad in the environment. Like us as humans, we get rid of the ozone.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
or tigers.
Or tigers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the dodo bird. We're like, fuck them.
I agree completely.
We're the vacuum cleaners of the dodo bird.
Agree completely. So, okay, I got a couple more of these questions here. This is a Danny question. I love this question. Is there some sort of large, drone-bearing mother Roomba that we all need to be worried about? See, now that would be a fun question to ask their marketing people. Is there some mother brain
If they had
robot?
the Geico people, the guys that make the Geico ads, they would have answered all these questions in a really funny
should-
cartoon.
yeah.
Agree completely.
Yeah.
Agree completely.
They would have had a sitcom.
Yeah, it would have been fun. It would have been a lot of fun, but they no one to answer that question. So here we go. Okay, another Danny question. Can you feed your Roomba after midnight? It's a Gremlins reference, but it's
true.
funny. It's funny to me.
You put a little chuckle in parentheses, and
Right.
then you're right.
Oh,
Exactly.
No, it's perfectly okay to feed your Roomba whenever you want.
Exactly.
What do you feed a Roomba?
It feeds on the dirt and the ground, and
And the grime, the dust, and the
Yeah.
pet it.
But how about if you spill something, like if you spilled like milk?
it gets
it
very
flips
excited.
out.
Well, yeah, well, I'm sure it gets very excited. So, can you? Here we go. I got a couple more. Have you ever had a Roomba turn against its human master, like the first law enforcement cop from RoboCop? Fair question. Fair question.
That's true. People have fears, and I feel like sometimes our leaders and our corporate people won't address those fears. They say that we're crazy for having them, but I watch movies. I've seen a lot of shit.
Look at that Stephen King movie, right? The one with the trucks,
Exactly.
Maximum
Yeah,
Overdrive.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, but where's GMC? Where's Chrysler
Well-
trying to address my concerns?
If you like, for me, like if I put my penis in the
Well,
Roomba,
why are you doing that? No, all right, next question.
it would turn against me.
Next
It would,
question.
because I don't know if I would get the
But
same.
in all fairness, anything would. Because I mean, seriously.
That was a little uncalled for. My point, at least,
Oh, let's go
my
back to
point
Blowjob McGee.
No, I mean, my point, it just exemplified that we may have, come from some sort of vacuum.
All right, you got.
Kettle, back to you, Pot.
What do vacuums do? They suck.
No,
All
no,
right,
no.
you guys can continue this conversation in the shower later on. All right,
Much
so-
Much like
so-
humanity has
there
a
we go.
propensity to do.
Okay, here we go. All right, and okay, just so we are clear, the settings on Roomba do not include human extinction or global domination. Is that correct? Like, would there be a switch for human extinction?
Because sometimes they put those switches on
Yeah,
because
you
they
could
want
change it.
they want to do like an expansion or something
Yes.
like that. That's a concern.
You
I
can add a
agree with
pack
that.
on of some sort.
That's true.
Well, if men put their penises in
No,
the Roomba,
no,
it would rip
no,
them off.
no.
That's no more.
There would be no slot for that. There would be no slot for that.
What do you mean?
No slot.
There's a lot of fetishes out there, man.
Well, no, but there would not be a slot in a Roomba for you to put your, don't,
Oh,
no.
it could happen.
Do you have a Roomba?
No.
Well, good.
Do any of you guys have Roombas?
Yeah.
No.
I think my grandma has one actually.
Nice.
She got one. She's old.
Can we
It keeps
borrow
the Roomba keeps the elderly company.
Oh.
I've got my stories and my Roomba.
Does she name it?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask her now. I'm
Does she
very
play
concerned.
gin rummy with it?
I'm very concerned now. She's
like-
been telling me about this friend. I just thought she was crazy.
You-
You yeah. someone up.
You win again, bitch.
Oh, why is Roomba mean? Okay. And last question: Could one order the global domination setting optional? Maybe I'm a military strongman and I'm building an army of robots. Would it be possible to launch a division of Roombas to vacuum my opponents while I hid 3 miles beneath the earth in my secret futuristic-looking lair?
That's fair enough. And
I
that
wanna know.
actually- No, that reminds me of something. Hairy testicles. I'm sorry, I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in with everybody.
Oh, now I'm out to come up with one
Ballsack.
by the end of the show. I have to scream out an obscenity by the end of the show.
That was uncalled for.
All right, remind me I have to scream out an obscenity by the end. I have to make some sick reference that I'll be embarrassed about later on. Okay, I'll wind it up. Since no one at iRobot spoke with me, I can only speculate on the robot-human attachment. So here's my take. Human beings form attachments with everything. I have a friend with a deep emotional attachment to Diet Coke. Actually, 2 friends. You and Jen both have deep emotional
Yeah, he's talking
attachments
to Carlos.
to Diet.
Carlos
Yeah,
has
it's Carlos.
a big
Yeah.
affinity for Diet
Yep.
Coke.
I have another friend who has an emotional attachment with the worst franchise in sports history, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Who would that be, Joe?
My friend Jim Jolly. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I thought it was the
enough.
Browns.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I myself had a deep emotional attachment with a 1991 Buick LeSabre.
Horrible.
These are all healthy attachments because all of these things in some way bring joy into our lives, especially that LeSabre. It was like a couch on wheels. I miss that car the way a fat kid misses shoving people out of the way for cake.
Towards the end, it really, literally was a couch on wheels.
It literally was
There
a couch
no
on wheels.
engine,
Yeah.
There was
Well,
no
it was just-
doors.
Didn't that cake reference happen last week?
I
last
did
weekend?
shove some people out of the way to
Yeah,
get my
it's
birthday
awesome.
cake. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And maybe
Okay.
I'm a little overweight, so maybe it
your
hits a little
birthday.
close to home. So that's my theory. People can love anything. Robots qualify as anything. Therefore, people can love robots.
Transitive property.
Nice, exactly. It was very A equals. Yeah. If you sense a little disappointment in my writing voice, iRobot, it is because I have the capacity to smile and laugh and hurt and cry. That is something you and your uber-rational sentinels will never comprehend. So go ahead. Enslave the human race. Send us down to work in your robot mines. We will dig for robot gold for your robot king. I will still pity you because you will never know the joy or pain. You heartless, soulless bastards. Go humans.
Wow.
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
was sort of like the speech
Thank
at the
you.
end of Independence Day, like that the president
Yep.
gave. You know, it's
Oh,
like we're
Today.
we must survive, and
Sorry.
humans
That's-
will
that's gonna
survive.
be- that's
I
gonna-
felt a little bit like Bill Pullman Paxton when I wrote that,
Pullman
whichever one it was.
Same guy.
President Bill.
say that in my eulogy. With
What's
the-
that?
When I put my dick in the room.
No, don't put your dick in anything in the eulogy. Carlos.
Do you ever you get Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman, like,
No, I
Mixed-
thought
everyone
Jeff,
does.
I thought Jeff
but
Daniels.
you know who else too is
Jeff Daniels.
no, not
You know who I get mixed up? I get Jeff Goldblum and Danny Glover mixed up all the time.
Really?
Those
No,
two guys, I
I
can't
think-
keep them straight.
I think
It's true.
yeah,
Gary Busey and Nick Nolte. I think
Yeah.
those
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are actually
Oh,
the
yeah.
same
that's
guy.
a cammon one.
Well, Nick
that's
Nolte
very
is a
true.
human, and Gary Busey's the
He's a
robot.
cyborg.
No, he's a cyborg. Gary
Cyborg.
Busey's
He's
a
a crazy
cyborg.
one. Yeah.
See, he has part. I think he's part metal plate in his head. And his
Yeah,
chest.
exactly. He's RoboCop.
And he has an arm that has like tentacle, fingers that's like with robotic web features.
Robo Wacko.
Yeah, he is a robo wacko. He's very much a robo wacko. So yeah, that was what I tried to communicate with the iRobot, but they didn't want to hear about it. So
You should send them the column.
I am. I'm sending their PR person a copy of this.
But you should send it like snail mail in a bag of dog shit that's on fire.
Oh, come
Straight
on.
to their doorstep.
Still angry, aren't you?
I'm a little upset about this. I'd like to hear the answers to these questions. This
Yeah.
this has infiltrated my family now. My grandmother has one.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm
man.
nervous.
Yeah, and scrotum taint.
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to get that out there before.
Now, that
before.
was uncalled for.
Oh, come on.
All
you
right,
guys did
kids.
it. You guys did it.
I only did it in the terms of
Ooh.
you said
That seemed creepy.
humans.
But when you
evolving
did it, it
from
was
vacuum.
scary. It
And
was,
you brought it back 4 times.
Yeah.
We
Because
were
it
way
makes a lot of
beyond
sense, doesn't it?
But it
robot
took
blowjobs.
you.
No, it
It
doesn't
took
make
you
a
a
lot of
solid
sense.
2 minutes. You had a really good point, but it took a while to get there.
Well, because all good points take a while to get to.
Speaking of good points.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick hole.
Oh, come on! How did we do our dirtiest show out of robots? How did that happen?
I did it tastefully.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right. On that note,
And I was joking.
gentlemen, it is time for the aftermath.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
jeez.
Let's wrap things up. Mike, please say something that won't make me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
I think the devil's greatest trick was proving that he didn't exist.
What?
right.
That was worse than I thought.
Thank you. The Usual Suspects reference. Usual Suspects, right?
Yeah,
there.
that's the reason they didn't respond back. They don't want you to know exactly what's
Okay,
going on.
fair
over
enough.
there.
So
Yeah.
again, Mike made his point, but it took a beat to get
Yep.
to that point. Carlos,
Oh, I'm afraid.
I know.
so
Don't.
afraid.
Well,
And
robots,
don't
what?
put your penis in.
I'm
anything.
not going to
Okay, good.
say anything about my penis.
Well, you just did.
Because you just said not to, and I said I wouldn't.
All right.
I think robots are our friends now,
Uh huh.
but I say in 1,000 years it's going to be a different story.
I know it could be.
And by the way, who wrote the other article? Who wrote the schmooze or?
Oh, it was Dave. Yeah, Dave and Schmooze both wrote
What's this? I think Schmooze wants to be in our fucking show.
it. He would be the 5th member. If
No,
wasn't.
he wouldn't.
He would be great. He'd be great.
No,
His
he-
mic wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
well, we'll get with that some other time. the technical difficulties of the show. We'll do it behind the pod. We'll do it behind the podcast
Oh,
one night.
wow. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll do that. It'll be a big show for Mike. So you can talk about the Phantom. What's it called?
Phantom plug.
The Phantom.
Phantom power.
The Phantom Power.
Phantom
The
Pierce.
Phantom Power. Yeah.
That's a good name for a robot.
That's a great name for. I named my Roomba Phantom Power. That is a good name. All right. Sean, your thoughts?
I could do this.
Wait, what? Zing right back at you.
I just kind of want to leave people with thinking, it's all right to trust a robot and to name a robot. Just don't put your dick in one.
Right.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
Do me that
Mike.
much.
I never said that.
Well, that's where you were going with the whole evolution
I was
thing.
not. No,
that
I was
was
just
where you
trying
were
to make
going.
sense.
You were trying to say that
Yeah.
all women were mindless
Robot
blowjob-giving robots.
Blowjob robots.
That's what you were
You're
saying.
saying women are robot blowjobs.
Yeah.
Blowjob robots.
robots.
I'll be,
That's what, you know what? That's what they should have said at that party.
Which part?
That they were mindless blowjob
That'll get you winning.
machines.
Oh man, I don't think we can do any better than that.
No.
So on that note, I will say thanks for listening, guys. Thanks. I think it was a really good show
That was
today.
fun.
It was a really good show.
Good night, Smooze. Good night, Dave.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. And
Good night, robots.
Yeah. Good night. Good night, all the robots that are listening from their robot lair. And we'll talk to you next week.
That's all for this episode of The Second Column. For more information, go to joedonatelli.com.